It's fantastic. Michael, how was the evening from your perspective, first of all? Any thoughts on our finalists and what did you make of the night overall?
Well, I mean, I think I speak for everyone saying that the quality was really high and it was really tough.
Okay, so today I'm doing something really interesting. I'm heading over to a school. I'm going to be judging a public speaking competition. The reason why it's interesting is because it's the same competition I took part in many years ago, over 10 years ago, the Jack Petchey Speak Out challenge. I've judged the grand final, I've judged the regional finals before. And what I'm doing today is I'm going to be going to my local school, that area, and I'm going to be judging the kids there. And it's high stakes, right? Because whoever wins this one has a chance to go to the grand final where they get a chance to speak in front of 4,000 people. So I'll be looking for a few things. One, are they clear? I'm really big on clarity, right? Whether you're giving a speech about climate change or your favorite designer bag, I don't care. It needs to be clear. Are they concise? Is there a good structure to their speech, right? Does it make sense how it's set up? But of course, they are kids, so I'm not going to be too harsh. I promise. But yeah, come with me as we do this little fun side quest, and I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, let's talk about how the judging works at one of these competitions, because I think this will help you if you want to become a better public speaker, whether it's negotiations or making public addresses, speeches. I've judged maybe 8 competitions now. I've spoken over 300 times. I've given dozens and dozens and dozens of keynotes. And here are the 3 things you have to pay close attention to. One is content, the second is delivery, and the third thing is structure. There is a 4th category we judge on, which I'll speak about in a few minutes. However, just so you think clearly about constructing speeches, content means what are you actually saying, all right? Yes, we can talk about bells and whistles, but at the end of the day, what's the actual content, right? Are you using facts? Are you using data? Is it a poem? What's the actual genre of what you're saying? That's the first thing. The second thing is obviously delivery, which means how are you delivering this content? Do you have a certain authenticity? Are you being loud at certain moments, quiet at certain moments? Are you whispering for effect? Are you drawing people in? Are you taking your time? Are you being staccato? How are you using your body to communicate the message? That's the delivery. Third thing is the structure. And speeches, if you think about speech like a meal, you need to have a beginning, you need to have a middle, you need to have an end. At the end, is there a call to action? Is there a peroration? Does it rise? And then for a big finish, or do you stay monotone throughout? Those 3 things, anytime you have to make a public address, is very helpful to think about. What's my content? How am I going to deliver this? And what's my structure? And the 4th thing is positive impact. Now, this is a bit controversial because for me, I don't know, I feel like them saying positive impact kind of predisposes people to thinking about, oh, how do I make a speech that is rallying people to do stuff? And not every speech needs to do that. Sometimes you're speaking and you want people to reflect, you want them to be sad, you want them to really, really think about something, and you don't want them to act. So rather than positive impact, I think it's better to just ask impact. What impact is this having on the audience? Because for me, if you give a good public address or you give a good speech, when I look at the audience, something should be happening. Either they're laughing because you've really landed the joke, or they're really pensive and they're thinking because you've made them do that, or they're leaving with a call to action because you've made it clear that they need to do something after. Those things, or those few things, are what makes a public address really great. And so for you listening to this, those are things you've got to do when you're thinking about how best to deliver a message, deliver an address. So let me know which one are you best at. Let me know in the comment section what you'd like to get better at. Ultimately, it was a really good event. Like I said, for obvious reasons, very nostalgic. I won the same competition years ago, and so it was really, really interesting to be there. This is my little speech at the end where I was just thanking, I guess, everybody and doing my, it's so funny, growing up, I never thought I'd be that guy. You know, when I was younger, we would have like these VIPs come to the school to deliver a message, and we would all be rolling our eyes at the back like, oh please, we want to be outside right now. Now I'm that guy. They're like, and our VIP this evening, Mike Woman, and I'm just there like.
You are a social entrepreneur as well. In your view, just how important are these kinds of communication skills for not just young people, but anyone looking to forge their path out there in the world?
Yeah, I mean, listen, one of the things you have to remember is is, right, a lot of people can't do what these young people just did. And so already you've got the skills you need to make anything happen, whether it's build a team, raise funding, convince people to see things your way. The real winner here is public speaking, right? Because if you have that skill, you can do anything. So, I mean, in my life, I always talk about the reason why I love doing stuff with Jack Petchey many years after I took part is because it was at this kind of event I first learned that I could speak, right? I used to be a sprinter, I thought that was what I was going to give the world. This thing helped me realize actually you can do more than that. Public speaking has totally changed my life, and I got to meet Jack Petchey actually before he passed away, and I told him, I said, listen, you changed my life. It was in the House of Lords, a very funny time. But yeah, I told him, you changed my life through this skill I acquired through this competition.
Well done, kids. Very awkward, but I loved it. I'm looking forward to the grand final, where, I mean, there's going to be thousands of people, so it'll be interesting to see how those kids do then. All right, see you in the next video.